Ever wonder why your DA claim was denied, even when you had solid medical evidence? Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. These 5 common words or phrases could be the silent killers of your claim. Let's fix that right now. We're going through the top 5 words that trigger a VA denial letter. Number 1 is something veterans say far too often during exams, and it could cost you thousands. Number 4 is one of the most used words to describe a symptom or condition and is an absolute killer. But do me a favor though. Help me help you. I realize you can skip to the end and find out what the 5 things listed are. But the real need of helping me help you is in what is being said, not what is written. So give me 15 minutes or less, and I'll give you enough information to put you closer to or in that 100 club. I'm Mr. X, I'm the guy behind the guy giving you all the information you want to know and need to know about the VA claims process. This is the VA top 5. Number 5 on the list, resolved. Okay, it's a huge problem because it suggests that the condition is no longer ongoing. Now, this may seem silly, but believe me when I tell you, far too often I've seen on VA exam reports where the veteran will claim a knee condition back does not matter. And they go to the examiner will ask them about the condition, and they'll say, oh, it's resolved. It's no longer an issue. Okay, that's the case. Why are we even putting in for claims? Okay. It's that silly, but I've seen it enough times. It's crazy. Okay? Other adjectives to use, say it's chronic, say it's persistent. I'm not telling you a lie, but I'm saying don't use the word resolve. Don't let it come through your head. Don't even mention it. Okay? Don't say my back pain has resolved. You do that, guess what? The denial letter's coming in. Okay? So, think about the words that you say when you go to the exams or when you file a claim. Resolved, don't say it. Number 5. Number 4 on the list, mild. Okay, this is a huge problem. This word is used far too often. Okay, the only time you should be using mild is with, the type of hot sauce you like, and that's a maybe. Okay? It's a huge problem because you say mild, this downplays the severity of your condition. Okay? Now, here's an example of what to say instead. Talk about how your condition limits your ability to do XYZ. Okay? How this impacts your daily function. Don't limit your condition or disability to one adjective, one word. Oh, it's mild back pain, mild knee pain. If you said, I have mild PTSD symptoms, how do you think that's going to turn out? Okay. You say mild, what I want you to think in your head is minimal. If you say mild, you're going to get a minimal rating or an outright denial, and that's bad. I'm trying to help you here. Try and get you closer to and in that 100 club. Mild equals minimal. Expand upon those symptoms in your exam and in your claim. Now, you might put on the claim form, I wouldn't even say mild. Okay, don't say mild at all. Just claim low back condition, knee condition, PTSD. If you want to submit a separate statement detailing all of your symptoms and the impact upon your daily life, then do that. That's a way better example than saying the word mild. Another word not to use, occasional. Number 3 on the list, occasional. Why this is a huge problem is it implies that the symptoms are infrequent. And if the symptoms are infrequent, then maybe that's not enough for a rating. These are the things that go through the examiner's mind. Hey, if it's occasional, then what does occasional mean? Now, occasional may mean 2 or 3 times a day. You may be thinking that in your head. Occasional to the examiner may mean 1 or 2 times a week or 1 or 2 times a month. So, what to use instead? Use measurable, I would say other measurable things several times a week. Don't say occasional several times a day. Just say multiple times per day, multiple times per week. Okay. Another example, if you say, I get occasional migraine headaches, what does that mean? Occasional once a day, 2 or 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a month. Okay, that's going to get you a non-compensable evaluation. Don't use the word occasional. It's not good for you. Okay, expand upon that. Use other measurable terms. 2 to 3 times a week, 6 to 8 times a month. I think you get my point. All right, number 2 on the list, improved. Now, this word is a huge problem because it signifies or signals to the examiner that your condition has gotten better or reduced, which also is going to mean that your rating is going to go down. Now, what I'm suggesting is this. 1, they'll lie to the examiner. They can tell if you're lying or not. Sound like a parent with your kids. You know, even if they think they're a good liar, you can always tell when they're lying. Now, I'm not saying if the examiner is your parents or your mom or your dad or whoever, okay? But they see enough evidence, they see enough symptoms and disabilities that they can tell when something is embellished. Now, what I'm suggesting is this. Don't use the word improved. Use a phrase, something like, hey, I'm still experiencing ongoing limitations. Okay, now let's break that down. Still means that it's ongoing. Experiencing means you're going through it. Ongoing, okay, I think I've already mentioned that. It's continued. And limitations are symptoms or issues that are preventing you from, doing what you want to do, whether that's at work or at home or leisure activities. Okay, so don't use the word improved. Use something like still experiencing ongoing limitations. Okay, that gives a better idea, but paints a better picture for the examiner about your symptoms. Now, this may not, using those types of words may not get you the increase that you were hoping for, but they sure as hell won't get you the denial or the proposed decrease. Okay, so don't use the word improved. One other suggestion here, a little bonus tip here, practice ahead of time. I know it seems silly, but when you do these exams, and you've probably been to enough of them, they're going to talk about your range of motion. Now, depending on what it is, okay, let's say it's your knee or your back, but they asked you about your symptoms. So, how's this? Well, it's improved. Well, okay, practice ahead of time. What's your limit? What's your range of motion? What's your day-to-day life going? Well, I'm still experiencing some ongoing limitations. I had decreased range of motion. Pain is ongoing multiple times per day, especially later in the day, later in the week. But talk about the frequency and use those words, because if you practice, it means you're going to get an increase. Plain and simple. I know it sucks to do it, but it's a small price to pay to help you and your future moving forward. All right. Number 1, normal. Now, this is huge because if you're in an exam and the examiner asks you about your range of motion and says something like normal, okay, that's implying that, your condition or your symptoms don't exist. Now, in that setting, I would ask for clarification. Well, what do you mean by normal? Because even though you may say my condition is normal, I still have symptoms of pain or limited range of motion or headaches on a weekly basis or daily basis. It depends on what condition you're applying for, but normal implies that there are no symptoms or there is no diagnosis, and that's just not the case. Because there can be symptoms even with normal findings per se. Okay, don't accept a normal exam. We're not going to accept it because at face value, it describes that your symptoms are not there. So, if you hear the word normal, let's do something, you and I together, okay? Let's commit to not use the word normal or to accept normal as a word that we're going to hear during the C&P exam or during the claims process. Don't mention it. Don't bring it up. If they say it, then politely ask for clarification. And you can do that because, if the examiner says normal, that may be them also trying to write off your symptoms as you don't have any. And that's just not the case. So politely ask for clarification. Don't use the word normal. They ask you about, hey, how is your daily, weekly basis? What symptoms do you have? Well, it's a normal. On Mondays, it's normal because of this. No. Okay? If you're in a mental health exam and, they ask you, well, what is it like when you have undue stress or anxiety? Oh, well, this doesn't trigger me. It's normal. Okay? That doesn't help them. Normal means denial. So, I've kind of rambled on here a little bit too much, but I think hopefully you get the overall gist or the point of this, which is use your words to describe what symptoms you're experiencing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Don't reduce it all to just one word, because if you do, it's going to kill you. It's going to kill your claim. All right? And that's what I'm trying to help you prevent. All right, wrapping it up here. Drop me a comment if you've ever seen one of these words used on one of your VA denial letters. If you've accidentally used one of these words in a claim or at a CMT exam, then give me a thumbs up. You owe me that. Okay? Let's you and I do a favor, a solid to one another, okay? Let's commit to not using any of these 5 words again in the claims process, because it's going to kill you in the end. Okay? If you want to beat the VA at its own game and get the rating that you deserve, then don't use any one of these 5 words. Okay? Describe the symptoms. Describe what you're going through. Don't you be the one to reduce it all to one word. If the examiner tries to reduce it all to one word, then ask for clarification and describe your symptoms again. Okay? All right. Please drop me a comment if you've accidentally used one of these 5 words in a claim or said it by accident during the CMT exam. Do me a favor. You commit to not using one of these 5 words, and you'll give me a thumbs up. Okay? Please like, subscribe for more no-fluff VA claim tips, broken down with a little bit of humor and some honesty. That's what I'm here for. But Mr. X is the VA Top 5.